What up, there? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WorldSports.com. I'm joined by Spinmo Rex.
Hello.
The rest of the crew, but we are also joined by Detroit News, brand new Detroit Lions beat reporter,
Shout out.
Nolan Bianchi, all the way from New York, man. What up?
How's it going? Couple men after my own heart. Talking a little Taco Bell when I got on here.
Oh yeah.
I do have a couple things to say about that. You're absolutely correct. Taco Bell is not what it used to be. Specifically, the Crunchwrap Supreme, which is no longer crunchy or supreme.
I agree.
So, yeah, I wanted to get that off my chest.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. Actually, well, yeah, I thought that on the way. I'm like, where's the crunch part?
No crunch. Aren't they using like a Cheez-It
No
now
crunch.
or something like that? Or is it?
Okay, all right. Well, so let me backtrack because that bangs. That bangs.
That bangs?
I haven't tried.
I wasn't brave
Oh,
enough
yeah.
to try it.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. And the nacho fries are pretty good. I am a chalupa man; those always hit. So
Chalupas
I can't
always
say
slap.
I'm against Taco Bell, but I do have feelings about what they did to that Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah, I was like halfway blacked out in my passenger seat, playing Led Zeppelin. Like, give me a Crunchwrap.
This is my favorite one. Easy.
Yeah, so I should have asked for the Cheez-It, but next time.
Speaking of things getting messy, Nolan, you were out there for the Detroit Lions' first joint practice against the New York Giants. And there were like 8+ fights. What was going on out there?
Yeah, I think that even might be underselling it. I think there was 8+ fights, maybe on the Lions' offensive side of the ball, but it was just two groups that were ready to hit somebody else. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown was kind of in the middle of it all to kick things off. Him and Drew Phillips, Dane Belton, they were going at it. And these things happen. Like I truly think, like, it's kind of cliche what they say sometimes about like these fights, but like, it's hot, it's humid, guys are fighting for their jobs, and you know, that's going to happen when you get a group like that together. So yeah, I mean, that was definitely the big story of the day, was just fights breaking out everywhere. Levi Onwuzurike and Kayvon Thibodeau were going at it at one point for somehow. So yeah, it was quite an eventful day.
Yeah, how's that even happen? Those are two defenders.
It was during a red zone period where like both teams came over to be on the same field. So like when the sidelines cleared, everybody was hanging out together. So but I was looking at the video afterwards and I was like, dude, there's no way that's Kayvon Thibodeau. It was Kayvon Thibodeau though. And Levi Onwuzurike, world renowned, nice guy in seasons past, but he's got a little bit of a mean streak to him on the field this year. He was in the middle of something at Lions practice last week. So definitely something you don't not want to see, you know.
And what's the validity of the Lions' defensive backs getting torched by Giants receivers? I've seen that on Twitter from different Giants beat writers that they were just they made him sound like it was just Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens running down the field wide open all day.
So I can't really speak to that because they separate the offense and defense onto two separate fields. So I wanted to kind of watch the Lions offense today and I'll watch the defense tomorrow. But unfortunately, I cannot confirm nor deny those things.
So So if you were watching the offense, how is J-Mo looking? I saw he got the first touchdown in the red zone period, but has he continued his domination of the training camp sessions?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get a ton of passes thrown his way. I think I had him for like 3 or 4. 2 of them turned into touchdowns. One was on one of the first team drill plays of the day. He kind of got behind everybody and scored a touchdown, kind of that deep ball connection with Goff that you're hoping for. But with Sam Laporta missing practice, I mean, it was really Amon-Ra St. Brown picking up all the slack. I think I had through the first 2 team drill sessions, Goff threw like 6 passes, and I think 5 of them were to St. Brown, which lent itself naturally to his involvement in those skirmishes early on. So yeah, that was pretty much it for Williams. He also got targeted on a pass over the middle that he didn't hang on to, but it was kind of a hospital ball, high, deep, and just I think he heard the footsteps and didn't get necessarily put in a good position.
In camp, obviously, I think the biggest takeaways for me have been Darius Fountain looking like he's going to be wide receiver 3. Guys taking the reps set there. But the stuff I haven't heard that I kind of expected heading in this camp was Jahmyr Gibbs in the passing game. I know you're out there on the offensive side of the ball today. Did he catch any balls or I guess any fancy routes ran his way?
Yeah, I think that's something that they're kind of slowly but surely adding to the mix. That was kind of one of the observations that I had from today's practice was during 7-on-7, they've been lining him up out wide, and they have guys coming out of the backfield typically, but they haven't been putting him back there, at least not today. And then he actually was on the end of 3 targets through the first 6 passes thrown. So I think that's something you're going to kind of see more in team drills as camp goes on, as they get more comfortable with him. There was a situation today where he was motioning from out wide, and I don't know if it was something he did or something the offense, maybe the entire offense was out of whack, but he kind of like stopped and there was a false start. So I definitely think there's still some room to grow in that area for him, and I think he knows that. I think the coaching staff obviously knows that. That's why they're kind of slowly working him on his way in. But yeah, I think that's definitely something you're going to see a ton during the season. And the conversation about who is wide receiver 3 on this team, I think he's well within the mix to if he's not quote unquote wide receiver 3, he'll be in the mix to have wide receiver 3 numbers.
Wow.
With a guy fighting for that same spot with Darius Fountain is Donovan Peoples-Jones, who a lot of people going into this year had high expectations for, that he'd be able to step up and be that Josh Reynolds guy with his experience already and his great athleticism. What has been up with him at camp? That has it been more of just Darius Fountain being the man, or him kind of fading away?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, Peoples Jones, he missed his conditioning test. He didn't pass his conditioning test, so it took him a day or two to get out there. And Darius Fountain, I mean, the thing with him is like he's been with the team for over a year, joined the practice squad at the start of last season, and he got some looks at first team reps. I think second or third day of practice, and he simply has not given them up. Like he's caught everything that's come his way. He's showing a lot of impressive things, whether it's catching a tough ball over the middle, whether it's getting open on a deep route. He's kind of showing the ability to be that big bodied physical receiver that I think that they kind of really need in that offense. And then with Peoples Jones, I mean, yeah, I mean I kind of just touched on it, but he really hasn't moved from those second team and some days even third team reps. I was definitely one of the people who was kind of thinking that he was going to be a seamless fit to throw him in there as your third wide receiver, and so far that just has not worked out because, or, for one reason or another. But he was so good for them when the ball did come his way last year. I figured, okay, with a little more opportunity, a little more time on task with Goff, perhaps that'll only lend itself to him kind of just sliding right in there. He had a productive season in 22 with Cleveland. Thought he'd be able to pick that back up, but so far it hasn't worked out.
Now, I know you're looking at the offensive side of the ball today, and a couple of injuries on that side. It sounds like Laporta didn't go today, and Zeitler walked off with a shoulder injury. Any updates on either one of those guys? And what is it that held Laporta out today?
Campbell didn't say, and I actually didn't see necessarily what happened with Zeitler. The one I was kind of front and center for, ironically, was the defensive injury with Terrion Arnold, where he was kind of defending a pitch to the outside, and Andrew Thomas coming out pulling, just kind of caught him in the train tracks a little bit. And obviously that's not something that you want to see with your rookie corner, your number one pick, this early in training camp. So I don't really have an update on any of those guys, but I would say that of the things that I saw today, the Terrion hit that he took was definitely a little bit concerning, and I think we'll find out soon, probably tomorrow, if it's a long-term thing or kind of what they're thinking. But you definitely want to get that guy as many reps as possible playing the position he is. So that was definitely not good.
With Zeitler gone, I know he's getting up there in age, and that's why I was kind of excited when we grabbed Mahogany. But he's been out with that sickness. Is there any type of updates or anything that we should be concerned with beyond him as a football player at this point?
Yeah, again, that is something that I wish I knew. We've asked Campbell about it, and he's kind of made it seem like it's not a big deal. But obviously, the further we go along, the more it sounds like that might not be the case. Yeah, no updates on that either. But you'd obviously like to have him out here, and I know that the team really would like to have him out here.
And you said you were watching the offense and looking at the kind of iron sharpens iron aspect of it, where you have the Lions, which are basically the consensus number one offensive line in the NFL right now, and a Giants defensive line, which I think has the potential to reach the heights of number one on their side of the ball. Guys like Dexter Lawrence, adding Brian Burns, obviously Kayvon Thibodeau. What was the battle like between those two units throughout the first day of the camp?
Yeah, the Giants defense was definitely showing their teeth. That was one of my big observations for the day. Was just like the first team offense really couldn't get that much going on the ground. I had a lot of notes that I took today were like, oh, 5 stonewalled. Kayvon Thibodeau had a tackle for loss on Gibbs, just tearing off the edge on I think his first run of the day. So, typically with that team, you'll see runs get broken off and stuff like that. But today in live action, the first team offense just couldn't really break anything. And I'm not even talking about like, an explosive or something like that. It just didn't seem like they were able to go for 10 plus yards like they have either in their own practice or in joint practice of the past. So Giants defense, especially the run game, definitely gave them all they could handle today.
And then Nolan, for let you get going, man, you're officially the beat reporter for the Detroit News full time now. What's it been like? What should we expect? You got anything coming out today?
Yeah, lots of stuff coming out every single day. I got camp observations coming out every day, and I got a big feature coming on Darius Fountain actually sometime this week. I'm hoping to run it before the preseason game, possibly on Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, outside of that, it's literally a dream come true. I mean, this is a job that I think if I told myself I had when I was 20, 21, I honestly wouldn't believe myself. And it's just so cool to not only be part of the NFL, which is so big, and so many people care about it, but to be able to do it for my hometown team where I leave a game and everybody just wants to talk about it. All my family, I gotta do a call with my dad after every game. I'll call him or he'll call me, and we just kind of run through what happened in the game. And that part is awesome, and it's not lost on me that I get to be a part of that, and super excited to bring you guys some awesome content, hopefully as the season gets going.
It's so awesome, man, and you well deserved, well earned. You're killing it. Keep up the great work. Hopefully the best season in Lions history this year. We appreciate you joining us. We gotta have you on again soon, man.
Actually, one last tidbit, because I saw Justin tweet a picture of you breaking down the fights. Who won? Did we win? Did we at least win the fights?
It's hard to say. I hate to go I hate to go a political answer on you, but I'm gonna call it a draw. And
okay.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. But it was definitely like guys were getting the best of each other back and forth. And at the end of the day, the guys walking off the field, it seems like they love it. So it's all in. I don't want to call it good fun, but it's probably the way I would describe it.
Heat of competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I always got time for it.
Thanks,
yes, sir.
Living the dream, man.
Congratulations.
Well deserved. He's one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So awesome, man, where he's at now. And you got to keep up with his stuff. Like, literally, I guarantee that piece on Fountain's going to be insane. He's fantastic.
That's going to be one of the better pieces because he's definitely a training camp surprise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's it.